Hello again, everybody out there. Welcome back to the Rantin Review Pro Wrestling, and we are continuing with our countdowns and lists for 2022 in the world of pro wrestling and sports entertainment. And this time we're going to be talking about tag teams, the best tag teams of 2022. I'm going to start off with one that has been on the radar for a lot of people for a long time. I mentioned them, I think, 5 years ago on my first YouTube channel, Rassslin Rantin. And it's Aussie Open. Aussie Open has been making a lot of waves. Their match with FTR over the summer definitely got a lot of eyeballs on them. And as part of the United Empire, being associated with Will Ospreay is going to get you a lot of international attention and people really seeing them as the next big thing simmering under the surface in the world of wrestling. I do expect at some point in time they are going to be IWGP World Tag Team Champions after FTR is possibly done with their stint. We'll talk more about them later on. Another tag team that kind of really made an impression this year was the Street Profits. The Street Profits had that series of matches with the Usos that were absolutely fantastic. Tag team wrestling had a lot of fantastic matchups this year alone. We'll see more of those in Match of the Year contenders. But yeah, the first match was an outstanding display. It just caught everybody's imagination. The follow-up, not so much, but I do think the Street Profits, and in particular Montez, definitely came on strong in 2022. The Young Bucks are usually on this list, but the Young Bucks were, this was not one of their years where they were kind of prominent in the tag team scene. Yeah, they kind of took a step back for the first half of the year, a little bit here and there. They were involved, tag team championships and everything else, but it didn't feel like that was like their main focus was involved in a tag team rivalry. And of course, then the summertime happened. We all know what happened with that. Mentioned it 1,000 times on every single wrestling channel. And now that they've come back to AEW in the winter, they are in a 6-man now with Kenny Omega. Still tag team wrestling, but again, they're not having this. They're not in the World Tag Team Championship division in any company right now. So the Young Bucks, not really one of their best years, but of course they still had some fantastic tag matches that we did get from them in 2022. Another tag team that needs to be mentioned is Bushimon over New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, New Japan doesn't typically have a very solid tag team scene, but what they've been able to accomplish with just bringing in a couple of teams and having some really outstanding matches over the last 2 years, really the pandemic era with Dangerous Tekkers and Gorillas of Destiny on their way out, and Bushimon, Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto. They've managed to forge some sort of a tag team scene over there in the heavyweight division that actually, I would like to see a lot of, any of those teams face off against anybody in any other wrestling company. But with Bushimon about to challenge FTR for the IWGP tag titles or Wrestle Kingdom, I think it's very likely that they might be World Tag Team Champions. Of course, that's not a guarantee come January the 4th. But yeah, Yoshihashi, just on a side note, has just he's improved again. TJP and Francesco Akira over in New Japan again, the IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions currently. They've been having a great year since they've paired up as a tag team. We also have other tag teams like TMDK, the Mighty Don't Kneel, which is now a group or faction. Maybe not. I'm not sure now that Jonah has gone back to WWE. But the original tag team has been absolutely solid in their performances, most of them over in Europe, and a lot of stuff that we've seen, some of their work in New Japan, of course. And I would say now, if you really get into talking about tag team wrestling in 2022, there are really two teams that you're talking about, and they are the teams that sit at the top of the mountain. One in the sports entertainment world, the other one sits at the top of the mountain in the pro wrestling world, and that is the Usos and FTR. FTR did their title run. They did what a lot of other great tag teams throughout history have done, including the Steiner Brothers and the Midnight Express and so on and so forth. And they are collecting belts. And they spent 2022 collecting belts, AAA World Tag Team Champions, IWGP World Tag Team Champions, and of course the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. They had the banger matches against the Briscoe brothers over a trilogy that just will be remembered for a long time by Ring of Honor fans and anybody who ever watches any of those matches. They were absolutely fantastic. They've carried themselves well as tag team champions all over the place. They've had good matches and pulled great matches out of people that usually don't have great matches. I think FTR in 2022 really established themselves as being a premier tag team not only in this year, not only in AEW, not only when they were in NXT and WWE, but just in the history of wrestling. I think they have reached that level now where I can consider them, when all is said and done, they will be one of the best tag teams of all time, and they really went far solidifying that in 2022. Opposite of them in the sports entertainment world with WWE, you have the Usos, who are also multiple champions. They won the Raw tag titles this year. I think, one of them. They held both the Raw and the SmackDown tag titles. I kind of forget which one is which because they're not that distinct. But they held both brands' belts, along with Roman, who held both brands' world championships. So the Bloodline basically ran WWE for the majority of 2022. The Usos holding the tag team division on lockdown. We did see them rekindle an old feud with the New Day. Of course, I mentioned the Street Profits match over the summer. They've had a lot of other good matches with teams on that roster, either makeshift teams or established tag teams. The Usos and the character work, and of course you throw in all the stuff with Sami Zayn. So much of the tag team division in WWE has had life because of what the Usos have been doing. A team that has really had their shoulders down for the mat, and when it came to choosing between the two, that was kind of the thing. It was kind of tied neck and neck, and you could easily say both of these teams are tied for tag team of the year. But I think, just booking wise, the loss to the Ass Boys recently by FTR on AEW Dynamite kind of soured their appeal as far as being considered the top tag team of the year. So some people are going to be very mad about that and take it way too seriously. I wouldn't take it way too seriously. It's just a tag team. It's just a storyline that they're telling. But if I am going to compare the year that the Usos had with the year that FTR had, the Usos edge it out by just that much for being the tag team of the year in 2022. But again, these are just my opinions. I want to know what your opinions are, and who are your favorite tag teams of 2022? Did you think was the best tag team of 2022? And before you go and check down in the description box below. I've got some free goodies down there for you guys, including free stocks from Webull, free stocks from Robinhood, and you can get some free crypto from Coinbase. Of course, I always suggest now if you get the free crypto from Coinbase, take it off of the platform and put it on a ledger. But if any of those things are interesting to you, go check out the description box below. And until next time, I will see you guys here for more news, rumors, and countdowns as we close out the year 2022 in the world of pro wrestling and sports entertainment on the Rant and Review Pro Wrestling. Have a good day.